Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Anda sedang menonton Agenda Awani bersama dengan saya Iza Izlan, dan pada hari ini kita bersiaran daripada PNB Ilham di Tanjung Tuan, Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan bersempena dengan acara Raptor Watch 2014, dan pada hari ini kita akan bincangkan apakah Raptor Watch ini, aktiviti ini, dan apakah yang membuatkan ramai yang berminat dengan aktiviti dan hobi ini. Dan bersama dengan saya untuk membincangkan perkara ini adalah Ketua Komunikasi MNS atau Malaysian Nature Society, iaitu Andrew Sebastian, dan juga Tasha Peterson, iaitu Coordinator MyGarden Birdwatch. Welcome to Agenda Awani, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I can start with Andrew. So you're the guy to go to for this Raptor Watch 2014, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it all about?
Raptor Watch is an annual event. It is now, I was told, is now the biggest ecotourism event in Malaysia. It's an event sold basically, it's basically on celebrating the arrival or the passing through of migrating raptors or birds of prey. So it's one event dedicated to us watching actually big birds fly across on the way back home.
And this is coming into the 14th year.
Yes, this is year number 15. Yes,
15?
This is the 15th year. We are so happy to see from what started as a one small event, it seems like a lot of people have started to get comfortable with the idea of coming to Tanjung Tuan in March. Yeah, to join us and watch raptors and do all this crazy stuff with nature and stuff. Yes.
Are you a birder yourself?
Yes, I am. Yes,
okay, so
Guilty, yeah.
what got you started? Like, what got your interest?
Well, yeah, we were on a holiday in Fraser's Hill.
Okay.
And this beautiful red bird comes and sits on the fence next to us, and we looked at it and said, wow, that's really interesting. Never knew this is bird that's all red and beautiful, yeah. So we looked it up in the book and said, wow, oh, it's a trogon. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice bird, you know. And one thing led to another, and here we are, you know, many years down the road.
Tasha, you're a bird enthusiast as well. So what got you started in raptor watching? Do you start with bird watching first, then raptor watching, or how?
Yes, there was some interest in birds. Started really very simply actually at home, you know, just in the backyard, hearing the sounds, the different sounds, and sort of wondering where it's coming from, and then realizing the kind of variety that exists just in our backyard, you know. So from there, you know, sort of trying to identify what they are, and the interest just grew from there. And when we heard about Raptor Watch, and the first time we came to Raptor Watch was 2004, so it's like 10 years ago. And it's just, you know, we just absolutely love it, because this chance to watch these birds, you know, coming across the Straits of Malacca is really an experience that, you know, we cannot describe actually. The feeling is so amazing that, you know, the way nature has set itself up, and these birds, you know, they know their route, they know when to fly, and they plow this route year after year, you know. Just seeing them coming in numbers like that, it's an amazing feeling. And so Raptor Watch has actually become a bit of a pilgrimage for the family. So every year we're here.
And,
yeah, exactly.
And you've become families now with all the other hobbies.
Yes, it is a gathering. It is a gathering of all like-minded people. You know,
exactly.
they bring new faces in, and we try to get them involved as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a gathering of a family and people who are all based on one interest.
So what about our audiences who are not aware or who are not experts at bird watching, and they feel like, hey, it's interesting, this raptor watching, but I don't really know anything about birds. So how did they get started?
I think people will surprise themselves. You know, once you think it's difficult or hard or something. It's a simple thing. Come here because this event is actually about people. You're going to meet a lot of nice people who will quickly point birds out to you in the skies. You know, people will like show you T-shirts and show you nice books and booklets that we have. You know, learn something new every day, and if you have an open mind, yeah, and this is really a great thing to pick up.
So they don't need any form of knowledge, or, you know.
Not from the start.
Not from the start.
As long as you have the interest, you know, and you have the willingness, and you want to learn something new. You want your kids, you want your family to try something, a new experience. You know, this is the best place for it.
What was it for you? I mean, when you first started with your husband, like you know nothing about birds. You just know that you like them.
Yeah, and when it was just hearing a little bit about Raptor Watch, I mean, the curiosity was there. You know, the idea of raptors and this migration process. You know. And I mean, I would say to anyone is that you just have to come and see it for yourself. You know, it's an amazing feeling just seeing them circling and spiraling in the sky, and you know, when they reach a level, shooting off, you know, heading back home. It's an amazing feeling, and I think that's what brings us back. And so every year we also bring new friends, you know, and those who aren't birders. And we say, just come, it's a great atmosphere, you know, you come and relax, but you know, on the side, just take a look at the birds, and once they see it, they're just amazed, and then they really start reading out more and learning and coming back. So, yeah.
So you have explained to your kids, like your daughter, like what it's all about.
Yes. So she's a big fan too.
She's now a big fan of it.
She's a big fan, yeah.
It runs in the family now.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Second generation.
Yeah, and the theme for this year is actually people, nature, and birds.
That's it.
Why this theme?
We are all in this together. Yeah. There are three elements at play here. I think most important is people. Nature will take care of itself, you know. So the birds have been flying across for thousands of years. The only thing different now is there's more and more people watching them fly across. So it's actually about us. So this year's theme is actually quite apt. We want to put the people back into the formula to say, listen, the birds are doing their thing. You know, we got to take inspiration from this. Yeah, we got to protect the forest. You know, in Pulau Rupat, Indonesia, you know, please don't cut down your forests anymore. Malaysia, you know, when the birds fly through, we want to see them safely get back home. Yeah, so again, it's also beholden on us to protect our forests, the places which the birds need to spend nights in. You know, they need tall, big trees. You know, the birds feel very safe in big, tall trees. So we need to have forests, big, tall trees for them to live.
Okay, so we'll be talking about ecotourism right after this, but we have to go off for a break. Jangan ke mana-mana, teruskan menonton Agenda Awani. Kita akan kembali selepas ini. Bertemu kembali dalam Agenda Awani dan kita masih lagi berbincang mengenai Raptor Watch 2014 bersama dengan Andrew dan juga Tasha. Alright, Andrew, Raptor Watch 2014, it's not just Raptor watching, it's also other activities. Can you share a bit about what are the activities that people can look forward to?
Right. So it's a people event, it's a public event, and we want people to come and be a bit comfortable because being an a nature-based event, it's not a zoo. We cannot guarantee the birds are going to come today at sharp 8:30 or whatever it is. Yeah. So we have created a lot of activities to keep families, to keep the kids occupied and get them to learn and experience stuff. So I think the most the favorite activities are probably the walks. Yeah? We have a bunch of great volunteers who have been trained or trained themselves on how to do guided walks. Yeah. So there's one into the forest, there's one into the mangroves. We even have one on the beach. Each showing you different things. Yeah. So in the mangrove walks, for example, during low tide, we teach the kids about the mangrove, the ecosystem. We identify fish, crabs, whatever they find interesting hopping along. In the forest walk, for example, we show them birds, wildlife, beautiful trees, things like that. So it's more than just watching birds and raptors. It's being part of an experience. Yeah, and as you said earlier, it's coming together on an annual migration thing ourselves. Yeah, for wherever you are in the country. Find yourself in Peterson or Tanjung Tuan in Melaka because we are going to watch the birds fly across. And while we're doing that, we also do lots of activities.
Is this something that you look forward to every year?
Yes.
Raptor Watch?
Yes,
Why
definitely. I think it's kind of corny to say this, but every time we see them crossing, spiraling and flying off, it actually you feel very happy and at peace that something's working in the world. Yeah, you know that it's continuing. It's still going on. You know, this migration is still going on, and you know that's a good thing. You know? Yeah.
And that's essentially what you want people to feel when they come to Raptor Watch. You want them to feel happy, right?
Feel happy, be connected, because I think what we are losing now is connectivity with nature.
The humans and the nature.
Human and nature, yeah. There's a disconnect. We need to reconnect. And if the birds are something that will inspire you to connect, why not?
Exactly.
Have you seen an increase of people coming over to this event from year to year?
I think there has been a steady increase. There's certainly been a steady increase. There's a lot of foreign visitors now also as well. That's nice to see. And what has happened also is we've increased our outreach to local schools. So this year, for example, over 30 schools, local schools from the area, they are already coming here today and tomorrow, and 90% of the kids that we ask have not been to this one area, you know, although they live just 10 kilometers away.
You mean this area?
Yeah, in the greater Port Dickson, Alugajah area. Yeah, so happy to see that we are reaching out to the local kids and teaching them something that they didn't know before, you know.
So what are the things that you actually educate the kids about?
Right, same thing. All raising conservation awareness among the kids, yeah, because the proverb tak kenal maka tak cinta. If you do not know something, you won't love it or like it, yeah. So we're trying to instill that spirit of loving nature or getting close to nature. So the kids around this area is blessed. They do not know it yet, but they are blessed because they have such a beautiful area for them to explore and learn and just experience. So we do hope that kids in this area, more and more of them become more aware.
And this is all year round activity.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see your kids, like you bring, it's your daughter, right?
Yes.
You brought her every year.
Yes, so far for the past 4 years.
For the past 4 years. So
young.
how do you see her, you know, learning about this? And
Definitely.
does she understand, you know, nature?
Yeah, she does appreciate it. I mean, over the years, just by observing what's out there, the different types of birds, the behavior, you know, the interest is peaked, and you know, and from there appreciation. Along with, you know, together with the other project that I do, the MyGarden Birdwatch project, which is a national survey of garden birds, so birds in your backyard. So through that as well, so every day at home, you know, just creating that awareness and, you know, being able to observe on a daily basis what's around you, I think is so important, especially for urban kids in the city who, you know, everything's, you know, can be so tech-based. You know, so just to look up, you know, into the trees, what's flying ahead or above, you know. So.
And you agree that it's best to instill this connectivity, as Andrew mentioned, between humans and natures when they're still young.
Yes, I think it's very important, you know, because that's when you can, at a young age, then you generate like a real sort of a love for it, you know. Yeah.
What about you? Have you seen a change in the kids that you educate in the surrounding areas, in the schools?
Well, there's been improvements, yeah. But you know, we started a bit late, so we do hope we are catching the kids right now, yeah, before they shoot off. It takes time. It's a long drawn process. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. We do hope that the approach we use, you know, we use colorful materials. Yeah, we use a lot of nice photographs. You know, we use people's Zainal Abidin to come in and sing. You know, meet your fans, the young kids. You know, take photos with them. You know, and we hope all of this actually accumulates to them. You know, getting more and more nature-based in that sense.
So, is it challenging for you to actually get this out there?
Yes, it is. It comes with a lot of challenges. But I think we have to remain optimistic. We must be focused on what we want to do. And this event is going to be long-term, we hope. And we do hope that, just like what Tasha said, you know, it becomes like a ritual. You know, every March, you know, all the local kids know, wow, okay, Birdwatch is coming. You know, wow, and they start looking up in the sky, and you know, and they send us texts to say, oh, I just saw a few, or things like that. So
awesome.
I hope it becomes a way of life.
Okay, so we'll talk more about how this hobby can help boost the national tourism. Alright, but we'll have to go for a break. Jangan ke mana, teruskan menonton Agenda Awani. Kita akan kembali selepas ini. Bertemu kembali dalam Agenda Awani dan kita masih lagi bincangkan mengenai Raptor Watch 2014 bersama dengan Andrew dan Tasha. Okay, Andrew, you have delegates not just from Malaysia but from other countries as well. Maybe you can share a bit about.
We have about 7 countries. Raptor Watch has turned into, firstly, a national thing. It was it's one canopy on the beach when it started. It has become a national thing now.
And now it's the whole resort.
Now it's become a regional thing, you know. So I'm very blessed to know that there are friends like us, you know, in countries like Taiwan, the Philippines, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, you know. These are countries that have groups of people like us who have who have their own bird activity and events, and they are doing exactly what we are doing. They're trying to reach out to people, you know, using birds to inspire environmental awareness, to inspire governments to protect places and promote places as ecotourism destinations.
And do you think that the awareness of conserving, you know, birds or raptors in general is better out of Malaysia, or is it about the same?
Well, certain countries are certainly ahead of us, well advanced. You know, some countries are blessed because they started earlier. They have bird events much earlier than us. The British Bird Fair, for example, is the biggest bird watching fair in the world. Yeah, they raise over €1 million every year for bird conservation projects. Yeah, so a lot of countries, Japan has started much earlier. Taiwan has certainly started much earlier. So we are not so bad in comparison, but you know, certainly we have we can improve. Yeah, but I do see an increase in environmental awareness. A lot more people are communicating back to us to say, hey, I saw this bird here, you know, hey, I saw this, that, you know, hey, someone caught a snake, you know, so, and hey, someone is cutting down this forest, you know, so it seems to be more and more people are getting involved and into that.
Tasha, do you see, like, once you've involved yourself in this sort of events and activities, do you see yourself conscious, or being more conscious of the nature and of the animals and stuff, like, in general?
Yes, definitely, of course. You know, you're very aware of, you know, what nature needs to survive, you know, and so the kind of tree chopping, you know, that you see around the city gets very stressful. Definitely.
And now that you've seen firsthand, right? So you feel like you're more conscious towards, like, what the nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So what about yourself?
Well, yeah. From people around us, and people I work and the families and so on, I think yes, there is a spike. Depends on how much you push.
Okay.
And how much you actually, you know, try. I think all boils down to effort again. And the more you put into it, I think the more people see that, oh, you're really serious about it, and oh, that's really nice, you know. So I think, yeah, there is an increase. We hope it snowballs to something bigger, faster, because we're losing a lot of forests, we're losing a lot of birds. People need to get on the bandwagon a lot quicker now.
So how do you see these sort of events and activities become a part of the tourism here in Malaysia? Not just, you know, when people say Malaysia, not just go to places like Genting or places like, you know, theme parks and all, but, you know, come to events like this to learn as well as for a holiday. So what do you think?
Well, yes, certainly events like this can be used to spur tourism, in fact, ecotourism activities. People are flying into this country to join our bird events, namely Raptor Watch and so on. And when they come here, like friends that we have today, they're going to stay on for another week or two. They're going to go visit Langkawi, they're going to go Fraser's Hill, you know. So the economic returns, if you want to talk about sustainable tourism or ecotourism, is there. And it can only get better because Malaysia still has beautiful forests. We still have wonderful wildlife. We have great facilities. You know. Now, if we can only get together and make sure this is more sustainable and we all are on the same page, I think it'll be perfect.
So how much, just to, you know, get an idea, how much do you spend? Do you spend on accommodation? And no?
What do you mean
for this sort of event?
For Raptor Watch?
Yeah, for Raptor Watch. Not much, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, there are different. There's a whole range of accommodation that's available. If you're a volunteer, you actually can get accommodation through the M&S program. And Port Dickson, I think, has a whole range of different types of accommodation.
So it's a very economical for everybody to actually join, right?
And I mean, if you come to Raptor Watch. There's so many birders here. They've got the binoculars and the scopes and everything. And so even if you don't have anything, you come. Everyone's sharing and everyone's keen to share the experience of observing the birds. And so you just come and you get a chance.
What would you say your best experience?
At Raptor Watch?
Yeah, at Raptor Watch.
Well, it would have to be from the lighthouse. I think, but the first year that we walked up to the lighthouse and we sat there in the scorching heat, just. But the reward just is,
it's worth it.
It's worth it because just seeing, you know, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of them fly across the straits. You know, they're like almost like bomber planes coming across, right? It's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
All right, Andrew, like, I have to ask you a bit of a heated question. No, just like, you know, events like this, how do you monetize it?
Well, again, we get a lot of support from the state governments. In this instance, Melaka and Negeri Sembilan, they share the load in some of the expenses, and also Tourism Malaysia. In Putrajaya, they also lend the support to pay for or to offset some of the things. But we also have a lot of corporate supporters that come on board and says, hey, listen, we'll throw some money at you. You know, people also pay to have their booths here. So a lot of camera makers, the lenses and so on, they come here because they know this is the market for them. So, and we are happy because ecotourism must succeed so that we can tell people this is our answer, this is the long-term answer to sustainable development. You know, people must make money, you know, without cutting down the forest or jeopardizing what we have in terms of a natural asset.
I definitely agree. And so far, you've been getting a lot of support?
Yes, well, every year is a challenge. Every year is a challenge.
Different challenges, huh?
Yeah, different challenges. Some years we do well, some years we don't do so well. But the thing is, the show must go on. You know, the birds are coming, and whether it's we have money for 100 canopies or 2 canopies, you know, we still have to put on a show because I think Raptor Watch is a signature event for us, and now for the country, it's beholden on us to have that because. There's only a small window when the birds fly in, and when that happens, we want more people to know about it.
Yep,
it's happening.
True. All right, thank you so much, Andrew, and also Tasha, for being here and chit-chatting with me about Raptor Watch. Enjoy your stay here and enjoy birding. Alright, itu dia tadi Andrew Sebastian, Ketua Komunikasi dari MNS atau Malaysian Nature Society, dan juga Tasha Peterson, iaitu koordinator MyGarden Birdwatch. Kita telah pun membincangkan mengenai acara Raptor Watch 2014 yang berlangsung 8 Mac hingga 9 Mac 2014 di PNB Ilham Tanjung Tuan, Port Dickson. Teruskan menonton Astro Awani. Saya Izlan. Assalamualaikum dan salam hormat. Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.